Hi everyone, so welcome to Investing for Value. So today I want to talk about NIO, and its current share price is $5.60, giving a valuation around $6 billion. So if we look at the share price, it's been doing really well in the recent days, and the big question is why? Well, this is because of the first quarter report, where they delivered 3,838 vehicles in the first quarter, and that compares with 3,989 vehicles in the same quarter last year. So vehicle numbers were slightly lower, though given the current situation, it's not too bad. Though as all things go, it's all about the future. So the future's looking pretty bright, especially when we consider the delivery numbers for April was 3,155 in just 1 month alone. Never mind the whole of the first quarter they did close to 4,000, and just in April here they did 3,155. So it's a very impressive number, and the projection that they've given is 9,500 to 10,000 vehicles for quarter two. And if we compare this against the prior quarters, quarter two was 3,553 for last year. So they're almost tripling that number for quarter two this year, which is where all the optimism is coming from. And as we expect with quarter three and quarter four, the numbers generally get better. So given these numbers, we're expecting of around 35,000 vehicles to be delivered this year, maybe even 40,000 if numbers get really good. And given the current situation is improving, I think this company is in a very, very good spot. And also they got 7 billion in yuan in terms of funding, and that's around about $1 billion US. Though they had to put all their assets into a company when they get this funding, and they will own 75.9% of this company, whereas the strategic investors will own 24.1% of this company. So they do kind of give out a bit of the company, though, and it is in exchange for quite a bit of funding. And as you would expect with all companies, companies will dilute their shareholding to basically to do capital raising, and this is no different, to be honest. It puts it into a very good situation going forward. So they're funded for basically the rest of the year. Considering the low vehicle numbers, the loss was around 238 million. As we expect, as they produce more cars, their loss generally decreases, and they could potentially be looking at a break-even number in quarter four. I do expect quarter three and quarter two to still be in loss territory, though probably not as bad as 238 million. And if we make some comparisons with a company that we all know too well, Tesla, that's worth $163 billion, given NIO is producing vehicle numbers around 10% of what Tesla produced last year, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say NIO was worth 10% of what Tesla's worth, of around $16 billion. So given this current valuation of $6 billion, you'd kind of feel like NIO was a little bit undervalued, though it might be compensating for the fact that there's political risk in terms of this is a Chinese-owned company, that this could have risks of fraud. They could be delisted by the US government if they didn't want Chinese company on their exchanges. So there's extra risk. Though at 6 billion, I still believe the valuation is probably a little bit below what it could be, especially when we consider that Nikola, which is going to be listed on the US market, not too, basically I think today, depending on your time zone, of course, Nikola is going to be listed this week on a 10 billion valuation, and at a 10 billion valuation for a trucking company producing no vehicles, it kind of makes NIO seem very undervalued. If Nikola's worth 10 billion and Tesla's worth 160 billion, NIO kind of deserves to be worth at least above Nikola, so at least a 10 billion valuation. Hence why I've come up with a $10 share price target for this company. Do I expect it to be realized immediately? Probably not. Though I think this year it's very realistic to see the share price move to around $10, if not even higher than that. though given the share price hasn't really gone that high in the recent year. Of course, there's kind of some skepticism. So, I'm always interested to hear your perspective of what you think this company is worth. Based on what I'm benchmarking with Tesla and Nikola, that's how I've arrived at a $10 share price target for NIO, or basically a 10 billion valuation, because if Nikola gets 10 billion valuation, NIO should at least be worth equivalent of that, if not a bit more. And given their projections that they are going to do around 10,000 vehicles for quarter two, and they generally just get better as they go, and the funding for this company is relatively secured, then I think everything's looking very, very bright with this company, especially in terms of where China's headed in terms of EVs and the current economic situation. They are fairly well placed to do quite well, um, especially when we compare against all the other companies. So let me know what your thoughts are, or if you have any other questions about this company or any other companies, please comment below. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.